Hey there friends, and welcome to another video. So today we are talking all things DLC for Spider-Man 2. Everything confirmed, leaked, and more. Before we get started, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. It seems like there's a hidden area of the game that's not accessible normally, and this is most likely going to be added in the DLC. So I'm going to show you how to get there just so that I can show you. Now, ever since I did that Venom video, I've been trying to find a way to break out of the map, and I haven't been able to find one. But someone on Twitter, I saw, found this, so here we are. You just gotta stand right here. And then let this hit you. Okay, so like right here, this one right there, you gotta stand like as close as you can to it. Now, while we wait for this to come back, I've been trying to find this way to break out, but someone found this. Now, you just need to let this hit you. Now, once you get hit by this, head straight up. Straight up. Just let the train just kidnap you, essentially. Oh, you'll notice, obviously, you're not meant to be out here yet. And the reason that you can tell that a specific area you're supposed to be able to access at some point, because if you look at the map, you'll see how over here, like this bridge, it's marked as an actual thing. Same thing with the actual map, where all the buildings are marked on the map. You can see the layouts of them. You go straight up over here to this building and all these buildings that are low texture, low polygon, etc. They have clearly not been set up to be around here. They have no text. Well, they have textures. They have no hitbox or anything, and they don't show up on the map when you go over to them. However, if you go over here, as well as over here, there is a lot of areas that you can actually access that have both hitboxes and show up on the map. So basically, this lit up area that looks different than this outer area where it's darker, you can access. Now, if you do this yourself, you need to be careful. If you get too close to the border, it will push you back in. So just be wary of that if you do that. You will have the ability to get trapped under the map, but just be careful. Kind of feel around. If you get trapped under the map, you can use your electric abilities or your iron arms or whatever to get back out. Now, this area right here, the ground is not solid. However, you can also see that there was a lot of lag. You can actually swing here, and in the other areas, you cannot swing. On top of that, you have these buildings which both show up on the map. You can web zip to them. They're completely solid. They're high quality models. You can very much so see that this is something. Now, there is nothing inside currently. There's these broken windows and stuff. We're going to go over here, and you'll see this building right here. This is what I was kind of talking about falling through the map. But we're gonna get up here. Now, you can't really just crawl on these buildings. But if you get up here, there we go. These leaves are way too big for one. But you can see this big old mansion. And this is very reminiscent of a lot of the places that Cletus's cult kind of was hanging out. And it seems like this is setting up for a Carnage DLC with more cult stuff, right? So that's kind of what I and some other people have been thinking. There's all these different little abandoned homes and such. Seems pretty suspect. Nothing super relevant. You can see that this one specifically is sunk into the ground like this. All overgrown, abandoned homes. This one is split in half. It looks like they haven't finished it yet. But anyways, that's basically it for this section. I can't remember if there's stuff on the other islands. I think just a few little buildings. Specifically on this one, there's like a water tower and another building. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, this building, which you can run on. which I did not remember. And you can see this water tower you can obviously stand on as well. All of those areas seem very likely to be accessible. Just look at the fact that how this looks when you haven't gone over the area of the map yet. It'll look exactly like this. Whereas the areas you can access are usually a lot darker, like over here. Now, next we're going to go over here, and you can also put waypoints over here, which is interesting, the fact that that's in the game anyways. So we're going to go over here. We got to be careful not to get too close to the part of the map where you're actually supposed to be, so that you don't get sucked back in. Now, once you get over here, you'll notice a lot of the ground is not solid, but specific parts of it, like this, are solid. Can you actually do this? Can you do that? Yep. That should help us gain some movement. Now, you can see there's a lot of stadiums and sports stuff over here. There's this weird ball thing. I don't know if that's actually a thing in New York. I don't obviously live in New York, so there's a lot of stuff out here that you would never be able to see, and it's mostly very high quality stuff. Lots of actual hitboxes, etc. You can go pretty far out also. I'm gonna go out a little bit. Now, over here, there is this baseball stadium. Once again, now this is a lot lower poly, so you may actually not be meant to go all the way over there. You could get stuck right here where my cursor is. This is as far as you can go. So this might be the new expansion for the map where it ends in this area. So you can also tell that over here, all of these buildings are extremely low quality also. Looks kind of Roblox-ish. But if you go back towards this direction, also, I noticed earlier when I was doing this off camera, if you are in this water and you get sunk down, there's another layer of water underneath this layer of water, which is very odd, to say the least. Over here you can see this building, which is interesting, as well as that over there, which looks like a really cool building, I just have to say. Now, this isn't, the rest of this isn't super important. You can't really tell what things are meant to be, because the further you go out, the less good the stuff looks. And I do think that you won't be able to go out all the way into this area once this is released, if it is released, because we don't actually know 100%. This could have been a cut area that was meant to be in the game, but they decided not to do it for a reason, or maybe just didn't have the time to do it. But if you get all the way over to these buildings, this is where things get really interesting, because I thought, oh, well, you know, that's the highest quality stuff you're gonna get. But if you get across this river and you go up here, you have fully functional buildings. You can run on them, swing on them, web zip to them. You've got traffic going on. This is a fully functional part of the city that you just cannot access for some reason. Everything is mostly finished. Now, the thing you're going to notice the most is just the lack of small details like graffiti and stuff like that, which I would assume would be added when this gets to be accessible. Because I don't see any reason why you would have such high quality models over here if you weren't going to be allowed to go into it. That's just not how game development really works. Over here also, I remember seeing this. There's this weird building right here with this kind of broken roof texture, where it kind of goes out like this. And then there's this. Yeah, so obviously, not completely finished. Maybe it's not actually meant to ever be accessible. But that brings us to the rest of the video, because if you didn't see it already, I have a Daredevil video talking about how it seems like they're hinting at a game. Well, the creative director, Brian Inedar, responded to the fact that people noticed like the sign was missing and stuff, and basically said, nice find, stay tuned. And someone also found another Daredevil thing, which we'll talk about in a minute, but we're going to go back into the map. If you go to a very specific part of the map, now it's right exactly here. Okay, so you just fast travel here. And I actually saw this when I was free roaming, but I thought that this was in the first game. And I was wrong, because it's not. Also, it's right next to these guys, I didn't realize. But if you come down here, you have this red flag. I saw the red flag. I saw this. I thought this was something from the first game. It was not in the first game. Inside here, we're gonna photo mode. You'll see some interesting symbols and stuff, which seems to be related to the hand. You'll also see a whole bunch of guns and stuff, and we're gonna go over to the other side of the building real quick. Here we go. And you can see through onto the other side. The door is just open, and you can go inside. You've got what looks to be a Doctor Strange symbol there for some reason, and a bookstore with really weird lighting. You've got this weird skull on the wall, which is super, super weird. You've got this hidden symbol behind this. Look over here, you'll see behind this bookshelf is the other room. Now, if this isn't something, I don't know what they were doing with this stuff. Okay, so apparently my recorder did not record that last part, so I'm gonna have to redo it. But we now have hints at the hand, Daredevil, as well as spoilers for one of the side missions. We have the Flame story, which has no resolution because Cletus gets away at the end. He's got a symbiote, and we don't know what's going on with that. But I have a bit of a theory, because if this is the hand, and Carnage has his whole cult thing, the hand usually has its kind of culty stuff going on. Maybe the hand and the Flame people team up, and they think Carnage is like their god or some stuff. I don't know. That's just a thought I had. But we know that they're going to do that. We know that they're going to have something Carnage related, whether that be in Spider-Man 3 or in a DLC. And the fact that they're hinting at so much of this stuff... Now, I thought before from my other video that they were hinting at a Daredevil game, which could also be a thing. But the fact that they have it to where you can go inside of this building seems to me like a DLC thing that they accidentally kind of left accessible. Because, like, this doesn't look complete just by the fact that, look at my legs, they're inside of this couch. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you have to go here to investigate the hand in the DLC. And another thing, we do know that New Game Plus is coming to the game, and due to leaks that came out from before the game's release, which have been proven true, due to, obviously, the main story, spoilers, they confirmed, like, anti-Venom was going to be a suit in the game that you just get, and was going to be a part of the story, and all the symbiote stuff, essentially, was confirmed by this. And this was before anyone had gameplay of the game. And we know that, so due to that, they also mentioned, and this is sadly the only thing they mentioned about post-launch, was that New Game Plus wouldn't be in the game at launch, but would be added in December. Now, due to that, we know that December is going to have New Game Plus. It'll probably also have some free suits. We know that there are 4 free suits coming to the game at least, and just due to the fact of how they did the first game and last game with free suits, there's probably going to be other free suits. There are also all of these collectibles of Spider-Bots, very few of which are based off of actual suits in the game, and other ones based off of villains. There's also a lot of suits from the previous game that are not in the game, like the skeleton guy, the stealth suit. So maybe those are added in the DLC. Tony Todd, who is the voice actor of Venom, also hinted at the return of Venom So maybe Venom is back in the DLC and is fully playable this time, or maybe that's for Spider-Man 3 or a spin-off game that Venom is back. Whether that be with Harry or someone else, I don't know. It seems like no matter what, we are getting some form of story DLC, which should include Daredevil, which is extremely exciting for me because I've wanted a Daredevil game for a long time. So, yeah. If you have noticed any of these other things similar to the hand area in this game, let me know and send me it, because I really am interested to see what other stuff is in this game, because there's a whole section of the game that you can go into out of bounds that has a huge area. There's that building, and maybe there's more stuff. If someone can data mine the game, I'm sure that there's something interesting there too that you can find. But anyways, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like and subscribe for more Spider-Man 2 news, updates about the DLC, and also other games, but it seems like lately all I do is Spider-Man 2, so goodbye.